know that we are being perfect is if we're feeling love, just love. When we are feeling just love, and not love where we attach conditions on it that other people have to act the way that we want them to act, but when we're okay, we feel connected to them and we desire only good to come to them no matter how they act. When we enter into that moment, and sometimes they're very short, that's the perfect moment. So we can experience perfection for a moment. Yes, it is true that no one is experiencing perfection all the time. No one that we can see. Because if they were, we wouldn't see them. Because when we enter into that state of mind where we're perfect all the time, we are not here anymore. We are wherever we go when that happens. I can't tell you where that is. I just know we call it different things. We call it the kingdom of heaven. Some people call it nirvana. But we would be invisible to the world. Now, you don't have to believe that. That's just what I believe. It's okay with me. You don't have to go along with it. But this is, just consider it. It's a better story, isn't it? It's a better story. You think about it that way. That you're going to have this, you're going to be in the middle of a perfect moment, and all of a sudden that perfect moment is going to turn into forever, and you're just going to disappear. But it's going to be cool, though. So this is how we know if we're awake. How we know if we're awake is if we're not angry. Awake, alive, alert, enthusiastic. This is what I like to tell myself this in the morning. I'm awake, alive, alert, enthusiastic. I'm awake, I'm paying attention. I'm seeing what's going on. I'm awake. Alive, I want to feel that thrill of life in me. Alert. I'm watching. I'm looking for and what I'm alert to is I'm looking for my opportunity to be of service because I know that in being of service, this is where my happiness lies. Enthusiastic. You know what enthusiasm looks like. You know what a lack of enthusiasm looks like. It's like really different. Like with enthusiasm, things get done. With enthusiasm, not only do things get done, but it's kind of fun to get the things done. With a lack, it's work. It's a slog. It's like, when is it time for lunch? When is it time to go home? With enthusiasm, the day flies. So I want to be enthusiastic. I want to approach my tasks of the day with exuberance. Now, yes, you may think, now I'm not talking about being manic. I'm talking about having a sense of exuberance, and you can feel the energy in the word. Because you can almost like with exuberance, you are propelled, you're like just propelled forward on the energy. And I always like to just to interchange these words. That the power of God is the love of God. This exuberance is the love of God moving me forward into life. Excited about life. To actually be excited. I remember that I always knew when in past years, I knew what was going to happen every day. There were details would be a little bit different, but I pretty much knew what was going to happen. I was going to get up in the morning, half sick, find a way to get unsick, whatever it was that I was going to have to do, and it was going to happen because I had an intention. It was going to happen. I was afraid it wasn't going to happen, and this was every day too, afraid that it wasn't going to happen, but I have an intention that it is going to happen, and I'm going to feel halfway decent, and this is what's going to happen every day. I don't know the details, but this is going to happen every day. Well, it's not that way anymore. Today I don't know what's going to happen. Yes, I've got some plans. I've got like a little framework that a bare bones kind of an idea about what I'm going to do every day, but I have no idea. I'm open to the possibilities. And I'm excited about what they might be. And now what I'm talking about here is my intention is to be excited. I put my focus on it. I want to be excited. Sometimes I'm not excited. Sometimes I'm feeling like it's just too much. I can't do this. And then I have to remember that what's happened is I fell back asleep. Whenever that happens, I fell back asleep. I'm back in that nightmare of self-centeredness. Let me wake up for a minute. Let me wake up and rekindle that excitement about life. And then the last thing I say, and many of you have heard me say this before, is I expect the best. I expect the best. Now here's where we get disappointed, and people have warned you about this throughout your life. Expectations can hurt your feelings. If you expect people to act in certain ways, if you expect them to do things, if you expect them to show up, you're going to be disappointed. If you expect circumstances to be a certain way, from time to time, you're going to be disappointed. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is I expect life to deliver the best. Now let me be clear. If God's will is for good, God's will is for good, for the best, for me and for you and for everyone. That's what God's will is, for the best. And if I believe that God's will is present in every moment, then why wouldn't I expect the best? Why wouldn't I expect God's will to be present? This is my expectation. My expectation is that the opportunity for good, that the opportunity for happiness, that the opportunity for fulfillment will always be present in every moment. Let me keep that expectation, because it opens my mind. It opens my heart. It opens my eyes to see the good that is there for me. And that's really being awake. That's all.